Hi, my name is Blake Dupuy. This is my school improvement plan for North Vermillion High School. This is going to be our school improvement plan for the 25-26 year. And as a whole, it focuses around improving school culture and climate. All aspects of this school improvement plan, all topics, all areas are going to be addressed primarily through improvement of school culture and climate. So here's our table of contents. This is what we're going to go through. We got our team members, mission and vision, academic achievement, school culture and climate, teacher retention, and school safety. So that's the areas we're going to go through. And again, all of those are going to basically or fundamentally be addressed through a culture shift. So here's our school improvement plan team members. I tried to include all stakeholders in the school improvement plan. So everything from administration to multiple different teachers across different content areas, to guidance counselors, to parents of students at North Vermillion, to community members who own businesses within the city of Maurice, and also have children who have attended North Vermillion High School. So here's our mission and vision. The mission for North Vermillion High School is to provide high levels of learning for all students. We want equitable education that prepares them for life in a rapidly changing society and builds a foundation of academic skills for any future educational endeavors. We're going to use data to do this and drive our decisions to get high levels of learning for all students. All right, and so data allows us to look at the big picture and kind of take a little bit of the personal aspect away from it and really make sure that our personal judgment may not be interfering with us seeing the big picture. So we're gonna look at both aspects of it. We're gonna use our personal and professional judgment and our relationship with each other to guide our decisions toward our mission. But we're also gonna look at the data and just look at it purely as number to make sure that there's no one getting missed in the process. And then our vision really highlights that change, that culture shift that we're trying to bring about at North Vermillion to address all these different aspects of the school improvement plan. So our vision is to create a culture of collaboration among teachers and leaders where data is used to guide educational goals and strategies. Teachers work in close collaboration and build upon and motivate each other for professional growth and the betterment of students. That is really how we're going to address every aspect of this SIP, is through creating a collaborative work culture, because I believe that everything starts there, and if you've got a good culture, that all aspects of the school will benefit. So we're starting with academic achievement. For the 25-26 school year, our target areas are going to be English 2 and Bio 1 LEAP scores. Both of these, as you read through the SMART goals, you can see that they are both based on historic numbers for these content areas and these historic achievement indices for these content areas, and kind of the decline we've seen in recent years. So we're trying to get back to where we were, get back to the achievement levels we were seeing pretty much prior to COVID-19. That's kind of the plan here. And we're really addressing both of these goals in the same manner. We're doing this by intentional planning of teachers, through data-driven instruction, through increased PLC practices and improved PLC practices, and increased administrator presence within the day-to-day operations and teaching of students, and also the collaboration among teachers. Increased administrator presence in those areas, being more visible, having a say in it, and working with teachers rather than on the side of teachers, or trying to come together as a more collaborative unit, not only teacher to teacher, but admin to teacher, and also involving students in the process too. So here's the data. You can see that we picked some of the ones, if you look all the way over there to the right, highlighted in red, those are the ones that took a hit or have been declining in recent years. And so we picked two of the ones that were really declining the most from prior to COVID, which you see in that middle column is the blank one, the 19 to 20 school year. There was no data there because of COVID-19. So really what we were looking at in this data was comparing across that COVID-19 gap there, what the data looked like. And so that's what we based our pick for these two target areas on. Biology and English 2 appeared to take some of the biggest dives after COVID-19. So our rationale really is that Intentional planning and use of data will drive better instruction in the classroom and improve our scores. Also, really looking at whether our courses are and our instruction is aligned to LEAP or is it aligned to what we might have been doing prior to COVID-19. At least in biology, we were given EOC testing prior to COVID-19. And so, is our instruction aligned to EOC or is it aligned to LEAP? We may not have updated our instruction to match the change in testing that we've done throughout this time period. So that's one of the main areas that we're going to look at. And then also, again, increasing collaboration among students and teachers and parents and administrators and getting everybody on the same page and everybody working toward that same goal. So combining our vision with our mission. And so this is the way we're going to do it. This is our plan. We're going to do a deep dive into essential standards. Every teacher knows that we can't spend maximum time on every standard. There's just not enough time in the year to do it. So we need to really figure out where we need to be focused in our areas and not skipping the reteach for the sake of covering all the content. Developing common assessments so that we can measure things like our SLTs, really use that common data to go back and really measure what's working and what's not and drive our instruction going forward. A data review after interims and an increased RTI program. And then last, a skills for mastery. This is where we should be wrapped up by this point. By early March, we should be wrapped up on the content. And at this point, from that last month before LEAP, we need to be focused on skills for LEAP. LEAP focuses more on skills and what students can do than just pure memorization of content. So we need to focus on that, give a hard kind of LEAP boost right before LEAP and make sure that those kids really know those skills. And we're going to use that data that we've collected throughout the year to figure out which skills, which of those reporting categories for LEAP are students not understanding and really focusing there. So this is kind of just a breakdown of that strategic plan and the steps involved in each one and kind of a more detailed look at it and when those things would be assessed by. School culture and climate, this is our biggest one. This is kind of influencing all other aspects of this school improvement plan. But to measure our school culture and climate, we're really focused on discipline referrals and chronic absenteeism. We want to build back up the school climate, get students to respect the school, get teachers to respect the school, and involve parents in the process. So that's kind of the main goal of our school culture and climate. Here's our data that we used to make these decisions. On the left, you can see the most common behavioral offenses resulting in in-school suspension for North Vermilion. And then over on the right, you can see the subgroups that most frequently were assigned in-school suspension at North Vermilion. And all of this data was pulled from the Louisiana Department of Education 22-23 school report card for North Vermilion High School. So just going to highlight the highest ones. The most common behavior offense resulting in in-school suspension was failure to serve assigned consequence. This means that students are not showing up for minor infraction consequences, minor lunch detention, or after-school detention. They are disregarding these minor behavior consequences and it's getting escalated into in-school suspension. We need to curb that. This shows a lack of regard, a school culture issue that we need to get on top of. Some of the ways we plan to address these things are getting kids to respect the school and take it seriously when they are issued a minor consequence. So in order to do that, we're going to take some surveys from pretty much everybody. We want to get everybody's opinion in and also implement and reflect those opinions in our decision making as administrators. And so hopefully that builds a more collaborative unit. Everyone feels like they got to say so, parents, students, teachers. That creates a buy-in effect and a more collaborative unit. Everybody's going to be held accountable. Everybody's going to hold each other accountable for not doing these things. And also implementation of PBIS, where hopefully we can get students to want to do the right thing. We also have to look at something like this from an equity standpoint. Are parents being called about these minor infractions? Are they being involved in it? Do they know about it? Are students missing after-school detention because they don't have a ride to and from after school? Especially with your lower grades, freshmen and sophomores, they may not drive. And so we have to make sure that parents are being communicated with so that kids aren't missing after-school detention just because they can't get a ride and then it gets escalated all the way up to in-school suspension for a reason that the administration could have worked out with the parent to accommodate everybody's situation. That's one of the main things we have to take away. Also, we see that males more often are being assigned ISS. One of the main problem areas at North Vermilion is the boys' restroom. We have to get on top of the boys' restroom. They feel like this is a safe spot where the rules don't apply. We see a lot of things happening, fights, vapes, any type of drug usage, bullying. All of that's happening in the males' restroom, and we have to get a system in place to get on top of that boys' restroom and really prevent those things from happening and decrease these discipline referrals, decrease the want for students to participate in these discipline issues. And so that's basically what this data discussion describes. We'll just skip down to the critical questions at the bottom. This is the questions that we intend to answer in the 25-26 school year. This is what we intend to look at. So why are students inclined to skip/neglect consequences for minor offenses? Are parents being contacted when students commit minor offenses? What time of day are fights occurring? Are economically disadvantaged students and families receiving support and being accommodated? Are we communicating with them in a way that they actually receive the communication? And so these are all things that we need to look into in the coming school year to attempt to correct our school culture, improve our school culture, and decrease discipline issues. So this is a breakdown of the different strategies we're going to employ. You can see some surveys on the side. We're trying to gain opinions and take that into account. Increasing administrator presence, increasing parent contact, and giving kids something better and something to work toward, building school community, extracurricular and interest opportunities. Give them a reason to behave. Make them feel connected to the school. And so that's the way that we're going to address school culture and climate. Teacher retention, again, I believe that this can mostly be improved by improving school culture and climate. New teachers need to feel supported by more experienced teachers, and experienced teachers need to share the burden with each other, need to share the accountability with each other for properly educating all students of the school. We don't need to be worried about my class versus your class. This is all one school. We all need to be on the same page, and we all need to hold each other accountable and work together to help each other out. Every experienced teacher can learn something from another teacher, even a new teacher. Everyone can learn something from everybody to improve our practices. And I think when that happens and everybody feels connected and it's like a family and you want to go to work because everybody's got each other's back, you're going to improve teacher retention. People will not want to leave because they feel connected to each other and the school and the students. And so that's the goal of this teacher retention plan. So the data we used to build this, we looked at the most common reasons that teachers left the workforce in Louisiana, according to the LDOE, and we also looked at the teacher makeup of North Vermilion High School. So just highlighting the top reasons from teachers leaving the workforce. Some of the ones you see up at the top, resign due to personal reasons. I feel like this might be, in some situations, this is probably a real answer. This is probably what they meant to put, but I feel like a lot of people may have put this answer because it was an easy one to put. You know, it's kind of unspecified. You don't really know why, and so personal reasons. That could be that they were just upset and unhappy. They you know, there is one unsatisfied with school district policies. Maybe that's not what it was. Maybe it was interpersonal. Maybe they felt like they were ostracized by other teachers, right? And so I think some of that is probably some school culture issue in that main reason that teachers left the workforce. At North Vermilion, we can see that we've got quite a bit of out-of-field teachers, teachers that are not teaching where they're certified. And so that comes with that support from experienced teachers within the field. They need to feel supported because these are teachers that are going to struggle. And we also have a lot of inexperienced teachers. We have over 25% inexperienced teachers. So these two groups really need support from experienced teachers. And so that's basically what this discussion is going to say. We're going to talk about improving school culture and collaborative efforts and helping each other and building a sense of community at the school, especially for those groups, those inexperienced and out-of-field teachers that are at high risk of leaving. And so this is our timeline. We're going to implement some surveys at the beginning. We're going to review our PLC. We're going to really rely on PLC to build that culture. We're going to do some content area PDs to really help those inexperienced and out-of-field teachers, implement mentor-teacher admin meetings, and really get admin involved in the process of mentoring new teachers with those mentor teachers and making sure that everybody's actually receiving the support that they need. And then end-of-year surveys, trying to figure out before they leave what's going on. How do you feel? Where do you think we could improve? What were some of your struggles, and what were some of your things you really liked throughout the school year? And so again, this is just kind of a breakdown of those different areas. And then this is a potential survey that we might use with teachers at the end of the year or the beginning of the year to kind of figure out where they need extra support and where they are most at risk of leaving us due to some of the problems they might be having. And then last is school safety. We want to make sure everyone's safe. If everyone's not safe, no one's going to learn if they're worried about safety. And so there's multiple levels of safety. Building level safety, people actually having access to the building. Physical safety, fights, violence, sexual abuse, and then mental safety, which again kind of goes hand in hand with both of the two higher levels of safety, mental safety. But then also on another aspect, suicide prevention and bullying awareness and things like that, academic guidance, not being overly stressed about grades and academic achievement. So we want to make sure that we're addressing all of these levels of safety at North Vermilion. But one of the ones that we're really going to focus on, because we're focused on school culture, is bullying. So we're looking at that physical/mental safety area. That's really where we're putting our focus. Kids need to feel like they can come to school and be safe at school. Bullying is a major issue, and it often goes unreported. We don't actually know how much that's happening. We know it's happening in those restrooms, and we have to get on top of it. Students can't feel like they have to be scared to walk the hallways or scared to go to the restroom. They're not going to learn anything that way. And so this is just some different data we pulled from the Bureau of Justice Statistics for 23. We were just looking at the most common crimes committed at schools across the country. And we can see that bullying is among some of the highest ones. All of these crimes have been going down in recent years. You can see in the blue but it's still a major problem, and we need to get on top of it. All right, and so that's what we really need to look at. And again, this seems to be mostly a school culture issue, and so we're going to address it as a school culture issue by implementing different programs, teacher training, student surveys, getting opinions, increased parent contact, and adopting the LSUS bullying prevention program. We're gonna spend some money. We're gonna do this program has been shown by multiple research studies to greatly improve not only bullying at school, but also to improve school culture and climate. And so we're going to implement this. We're going to revise our PBIS program and try to make it more of an incentive for students. I feel like a lot of students don't really see the perk to it. They're not that motivated by it. So we're going to revise our PBIS program based on those student surveys and try to work that in to our school practices. So that's how we plan to address school safety, and particularly bullying and fighting in general, these three top offenses at North Vermilion High School. So that's our school improvement plan. It's primarily focused on school culture. We're going to try to address all aspects of school culture and build a closer school culture and hopefully improve all aspects of the school improvement plan, from academic achievement to safety to retaining teachers through a culture shift and being a more inclusive, collaborative North Vermilion High School.